100 years ago, the physicists would have been very uncomfortable with this idea of a spirit world. I was talking to a young Danish, very young, in his early 20s, young Danish physicist a few months ago. And I just started to talk about the spirit world, thinking I was going to make him very uncomfortable. And he looked at me for a minute. And he said, "Oh, you mean independent entities in the topological field?" He had a whole language for it. And so, in other words, I mean, a lot seemed like, again, have gone against the grain of the culture, are now coming back into the culture kind of through devious routes, etc. So the important thing being here, again, as far as we're concerned here today, I just want to try to keep us moving here. We can get into these interesting conversations, but in our time,
I told you I have plenty of questions.
Yeah, and that's fine. And I want to address them. I just don't want to spend too much time on any of it, or we'll get bogged down.
Okay.
So again, this is the dreaming woman. This is the shocking woman. This is the main pattern of your birth chart. You also have the planet Venus tied into the pattern, coming in. It's opposed the moon here.
Okay.
Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and art. So now it's telling us that this woman not only wants to express herself in a dreamlike, imaginative way, in a shocking and innovative way, but in a very loving, beautiful, and artful way as well. So all of that whole four-planet combo is the main pattern of your birth chart.
Is it typical people have four? Is that
No.
No.
No, it can be any number.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just the moon itself, all by itself. Sometimes it's combined with more, but four is quite a few.
I took on a lot then.
It's complex. In other words, there's different dimensions here that all need to be taken into account. Now, the sun in your chart is the symbol for how you shine. It's the symbol for your masculine sign. It's in, as you know, the communicative sign of Gemini. It's in the 6th house of the chart, which is the house of how you are of service to others. So the appropriate way for you to shine according to the chart is in some form of service to others. And that sun at the moment you're born sits exactly halfway between the planet Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, and good fortune, and the exact degree of Capricorn on the eastern horizon, which is called the ascendant degree of your chart, which for you is 24 degrees of Capricorn. That's this point right here. So we say the sun is on the midpoint between Jupiter and the ascendant point. The ascendant point is a relationship indicator and a viewpoint indicator. So it's telling us you have the ability to shine through a very expansive and optimistic viewpoint, as well as through a kind of expansive way of being in relationship to others. Does that make sense at all?
I think so.
So that's being symbolized as a gift in your life as well.
So, where the sun, okay, go back to the sun, because this is significant. I want to get this.
The sun is in the sign of Gemini. The sun is how you shine, how you put yourself into the world. The sun is in the sign of Gemini, so you're being symbolized as putting yourself into the world in a Gemini way, mobile, mutable, restless, communicative.
Okay.
We call you guys mobile units because you're always in motion, mentally or physically or verbally.
See what it does to that. And
So-
sometimes all at one time.
And sometimes all at one time. It's the side of you that's very curious. It's the side of you that likes variety, likes change, doesn't like too much routine. That Capricorn loves routine. Gemini hates routine.
Okay.
It's in connection, again, with the planet of growth, expansion, and good fortune, Jupiter, and with the point in the chart that symbolizes two things: how you look at life and how you relate to others. So the whole pattern says you're becoming a person who shines into life through her communication skills, Gemini, in service to others, the 6th house, in a way that is expansive, warm, and generous in the way you look at life and in the way you relate to other people. That's the whole pattern. Does that make sense?
It does. But back to Capricorn, which is, as you say, complete opposite, but that was my first house, so again, how that is how I...
That's part of the mix here, and I'd actually say that's a good thing, because that keeps you grounded.
Okay.
That moon Neptune can get way out there by itself. That practical side of yours would be the side that would say, okay, we can get involved in these out there interests, but we need to find a way to kind of bring this down to earth.
So innately by the way the chart reads, I am a grounded person because of Capricorn.
You've got that side to you.
Okay.
You've also got some very ungrounded sides to it. Isn't that true?
It is.
Can't you get out there?
I can get out there.
Mm-hmm. What's nice is to have both those sides. If we just find someone who's all Capricorn, say, without any of this kind of altered states sort of symbolism, then we find somebody who's a great lawyer or a great, engineer. We find somebody who's just completely engaged in the practical world and doesn't have much interest in anything else.
Most of the politicians are Capricorn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Capricorn-like. They aren't necessarily, I don't want to make Capricorn into a bad thing. It's just the symbol for the day-to-day nuts and bolts of life. Whereas that moon Neptune is the dreamlike side of life. So again, you're being symbolized as being able to have one foot in both worlds. I think that's a good thing.
And again, how predominant is Neptune, if you go back to that one more time for me. So Neptune is the 11th house.
Neptune, because it's conjunct the moon in a night birth chart, that whole pattern is the single most important pattern of the whole chart. In other words, you're being symbolized as primarily dreamlike and imaginative with a touch of groundedness rather than the other way around.